It's about 9 o'clock right now, and I'm still really tired. I'm trying to get some more sleep because I have to be at work at 2, but everybody's making all sort of noise. Outside, somebody's cutting the grass. The dogs are barking at the person cutting the grass. And Sam, this is the only complaint that I don't have. Sam is downstairs mixing the batter to my cake. So, I hope my cake is ready before I go to work. See, there's Hercules. Look at what my honey pie made. Yay. Check it out. Get a nice shot of this. Just like this. Yeah. This guy. Thank you, honey. Really quick, you guys, I just wanted to just kind of say something. I don't know if you were able to tell from my video yesterday or a couple days ago, my days are getting confused now, that I'm trying to take a cruelty-free stance when it comes to the makeup that I use. And I'm gonna be the first to admit, I do have some products that I'm sure were more than likely tested on animals, and I'm gonna list the reason why that happened or how that happened. One was I wasn't conscious at the time or really aware of, animal testing. You see a product, you like it, you think it's pretty, you buy it. You don't really think about, whether or not something is tested on animals. So I really feel like I wish that I had been aware sooner. That way, I wouldn't have bought some products. I am going to say this though, that looking around the products that I have more products that were not tested on animals than were. 2, I feel like I was misled by the internet, meaning blog posts or even Pinterest. I do recall seeing a Pinterest post saying, these brands are cruelty-free, and I mentioned one of those in the video, and turns out that they test on animals. So I feel really dumb. I feel like kicking myself in the butt. And then 3, just plain forgot to look, and I have no excuse for that. Going back to the whole, you see something you like, you buy it, and then after the fact you're like, ugh. So I have no excuse for that. What I do want to say about brands and labels is that some are and some aren't, but that doesn't necessarily mean it goes one way or the other. For example, Urban Decay, I bought these from the Urban Decay website. This one, it says on the back that they don't test on animals. This one doesn't have that statement, so that kind of confused me. Wet n Wild, their products have the same thing. Some products have it listed, some products don't. NYX, theirs is right on the packaging. It says that they're cruelty-free. With that in mind, don't assume. Don't assume that because it doesn't have the label that they test on animals. And I found that out just now with my Urban Decay products. What I did is I just went directly to the Urban Decay website, and they're cruelty-free. They have the cruelty-free, they're vegan, they have the Leaping Bunny on it. So that was a really pleasant, thing to find out, because I'd heard that they were, I'd heard that they weren't. I just finally looked and was pleased. Double check. Double check, double check, double check. Don't take anyone's word for it. Even though I'm saying right now, Urban Decay doesn't do animal testing, double check, because I was going by what other people said, and I ended up with some products that are tested on animals. In my experience, what I'm finding out is that if you go to a website, if they're cruelty-free, they're proud, it seems like, to say that they're cruelty-free. It'll say, on, their first web page, or, their homepage, it'll say at the bottom. I've seen it in their frequently asked questions. I've seen it in our About Us or About Our Company, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those will be the only places. So do some digging if you don't see it in those places that I mentioned. because that's what I ended up doing with one of the products that I have. I didn't see it right away in those places, and I was sweating bullets because I really liked that product, but turned out it was like in a different part of their website. And this is what I have to say about websites. If it doesn't say, and I know I just said don't assume, if it doesn't say anywhere, even after all your digging, that they're cruelty free, that they don't test on animals, or you know, if you're wanting to do vegan products, if it doesn't say anything, I assume that they do. And here's the reason why. Going back to the whole, usually companies are proud to say that they're cruelty free. On the other hand, I would think if you're a company that does test on animals, you're not going to put it out there for the whole world to know. I don't know if it's just me that thinks that way, but why would you want to open up a can of worms if you're a company, especially a huge company that everybody buys from? Why would you want to put it out there that you test on animals? So I just assume that they do. I'd rather do the whole safe than sorry thing, and I'm not going to say any companies, because this brings me to my last point. You decide. You decide if you want to purchase from a company, whether, you know, based off of your findings, because it gets even more, you know, more gray areas, because they'll say this company here, big company, mama company, has all these little baby companies. This company tests on animals, but these baby companies don't. So it even goes into that. So I'm gonna let you guys decide. This is just what I'm finding out, I guess, sharing my tips and my findings, and I guess putting it out there. So that's all I have to say.
Dirts.
Yeah. It's like food porn.
You want the middle one?
Sure, doesn't matter.
Try to do this with that.
Thank you, honey.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
My favorite kind of cake is yellow cake with chocolate frosting. Ow. Mmm. Super honey chocolate. Mmm. And now it's off to work. I gotta go to work now. My honey's right here. Oh, look at Hercules. He's sad. I'm sorry, Fry. Gotta go to work. I gotta go to work to buy your medicine and pay for your doctor bills. Oh. Oh, I just don't like leaving the boys. I'm glad that Sam's home today. I had to get gas again. That's what I get for only putting in $10. I should have put in more yesterday. I put in more today, so I shouldn't have to stop for gas for a while. Last night, after I realized, thanks to Sam, that I'm really getting 19 hours of overtime this week instead of 9, I realized that there's a good and bad, you know, side of all of this. The bad, of course, I don't get to spend as much time with Sam and the boys. I don't get to really allow myself and my body to recuperate from being at work for that many hours. The good, I'm getting one step closer to being debt free. I've been saying it, and for the most part I've been doing it, just doing automatic payments from my account, and it's just another step closer. Yes, it does suck that I don't get to spend a lot of time with Sam and the boys, and believe me, I would much rather be home with them. Easy. But a lot of the times he's already at work, and weather's bad, so I can't really be out with the boys. So I figured if I can't really do a whole lot, I could be working. And that's how I'm choosing to look at it. And I think being debt free is going to be, the feeling of accomplishment is going to feel really, really good. And another way I was choosing to look at it too, and this is the bad side too, is, you know, when you go into a job, you get hired, they look at your experience, your references, your, you know, what you can bring to the table, and they hire you, or some places hire you based off of experience, and that determines your pay. And I feel like in essence they're saying to you, I'll pay you this much money for every hour you spend away from your family. Not necessarily, I'll pay you this much money for, you know, doing this job and doing this work and, you know, taking care of this. It's probably a bad way to think, but it's a different way to think of it too, when you're tired but you're forcing yourself to go to work. They could really be saying, I'll pay you, I wish I made $100 an hour. I'll pay you $100 an hour for every hour that you spend away from your family. And you're like, well, if you say it that way, I guess, you know, depending on how your family is, if you enjoy your family. But for me, I'm like, I would rather be at home with the boys. And Sam. Let's not forget about Sam. I know I sound like I'm complaining, and I'm not. I'm very, 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 very thankful, and I'm very, very, very blessed, and I'm very, 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 very lucky, and I realize that, to have a job right now. The longest I've ever been out of work is 3 months since I've started working. I think I started working when I was 20. Since I was 20 years old, and now I'm in my 30s. I'm not gonna say how old I am. I've only been out of work 3 months. When I find a job, I stick with it. My last job, I was there 7 years. The job before that, I was there probably 3 years. The job before that, I can't remember. But I like sticking with the job and, you know, having that history of being employable. Anyway, going back, I'm really lucky, and I'm very thankful, and I'm very blessed to have a job at a time when it's very difficult to find a job for a lot of people. And it helps, you know, put a roof over our head, food on the table. Hercules can get his medical stuff taken care of. Aren't you guys tired of seeing this right here? I know that I am. Have a good day, guys.